Guten Morgen everyone and welcome again to my channel. Today we are going to make bread. And what do we need to make bread? Well, flour and water. But how much water can this flour absorb? So that's the experiment of today. We're going to do 3 different hydrations and test the flour or test the bread, how it develops and what is the final result. But how many water do we need? A little? A lot? Nothing? Okay, so first, why don't we check the recipes? So this is the first one. 60% hydration. That means in 1 kilo flour, we're going to use 600 milliliters or 600 grams of water. Remember that you can download my app for free for Android and iPhone. Good, so here's the 70% hydration. We're just changing the amount of water. So every recipe has less flour and a little bit more water, but always the same amount of dough. And 80% hydration. Okay, good. So let's see what happens and let's start with today's challenge. Okay, so let's go with the first recipe, the 60% hydration dough. Since we are using this incredible flour from Italy, which is high protein flour, so it's a strong flour, maybe 60% hydration, it's not that much. So let's check it out. Let's start making the autolysis. So in the bowl we put the flour. Now the whole wheat flour, sourdough starter, remember that it should be always really active. And now salt and finally the water. We put everything together. Since this is a low hydration dough, it's going to take a while. The idea is to hydrate all the flour. So let's mix it with my Danish whisk. It looks okay. Okay, so we've got it. Okay, so as you can see, there's no gluten development by the moment. So that's the idea of the autolysis. So I'm going to leave this dry dough here on the counter, cover it, of course, for around 1 hour. Let's check the 60% hydration dough, how reacted to the autolysis. Let me water my hand. Take a look at this. There's a lot of gluten development. Yes, thanks to the autolysis. So with my wet dough, now I give it some shape. And now I put it on the counter slowly. And this dough is it's not that sticky. So it's easy to make it like a ball. Okay, looking good. And now it goes back to the bowl. Now I cover it. Perfect. We have the first dough, so now we're going to leave it here on the counter for around 4 hours at room temperature. It depends, of course, if the sourdough starter was strong enough. Okay, it's been 4 hours and take a look at this, how the dough has fully fermented in the bowl. Good, so now we're ready to shape it. Let's put some semolina around the bowl and now gently let's unmold it. Okay, we need to keep all that air. Since this dough is 60% hydration, as you can see, it's a little bit firm, but it's okay to shape it. So let's do it. Remember always to give a good tension to the dough, but at the same time, no degas it. Good. Now we close the edges, a little bit of semolina on the bread and also on the panettone, and I'll transfer it there, always flipping it. So now that the first bread is already shaped, I'm going to take it to the fridge for overnight fermentation till tomorrow. See you. So here we have the first bread, the 60% hydration, which has been the whole night cold fermenting. And look at it, beautiful, right? So now let me get the Dutch oven, which is already preheated, and let's bake it. So first, let me open this semolina rimacinata. If you don't have semolina rimacinata, you can use just flour. Now let me put my gloves, and let's open the Dutch oven, which is really, really hot. Now I put some semolina on the Dutch oven and also on the bread, and I'm ready to score it with my new blade. Beautifully. And let us score. Wow, this was a perfect scoring because the bread was really, really cold. Okay, let me put again my gloves, let's cover it, and let's bake it for 20 minutes. Wow. Wow. Beautiful, isn't it? It seems that it has a lot of strength because of the way of the scoring that we have today. Okay, so let me take this again 15 minutes more and I'll be back. Woo! Okay, so first bread of today, 60% hydration. Let me check this. Ooh, sounds good. So let's put here, let it cool down, and we'll check it in a few minutes. So this is the 60% hydration, the first bread that we baked. And as you can see, the strong flour that we used had a lot of power and it opened like this. This oven spring is really interesting. It's almost like an explosion. So, but the bread is okay. It's light, beautiful, dark brown or golden brown, and I want to try it. Okay, so let's. And this is the 60% hydration crumb. So it's good. It's not open crumb, of course, but it's well fermented, it's airy, it's super fluffy at the same time, and the crust is golden, crispy, and not that thick. It's almost thin. So it's an excellent bread for maybe for sandwiches or for toast, and it smells incredible. So let's see what happened with the next one, but let's try this one first. A little bit of crumb, a little bit of crust. Oh, moist. And it's not that acid because the sourdough starter that I used was refreshed a few hours before baking. Really good taste. Excellent bread. Let's go with the next one. So now it's time for the 70% hydration bread, and we are going to use 10% more water. So let's see the results. So in the bowl, we pour the flour. Now the whole wheat flour, sourdough starter, always active, remember that, salt, and all the water. Since now we're using more water, I want to see how this gluten develops. With the Danish whisk, we start mixing everything till everything is hydrated. We are not kneading, okay? Just hydrating. Looking good, okay? I think we're ready. So now we are dealing with a more sticky dough. That 10% made some changes in the dough. So there's no gluten development yet, so I'll leave this here. Well, okay, so 59 minutes, 60 minutes. Let me cover this and, okay. I'll see you later. Bye-bye. 70% hydration dough. Let's see how it reacted to the hot ice. Let me grab the dough with my wet hand and take a look at this. Incredible gluten development. Yes, just a little bit more of water helped a lot. So now let's do slap and fold like my friend Richard Bertinet. And in seconds, we have the dough ready. I shape it like a ball and put it back again in the bowl. Oh, I really like this dough. Beautiful ball, a little bit easier than the first one. So I'll leave it here for around 4 hours till it doubles in size or maybe a little bit more. Take a look at the 70% hydration dough, which is already fermented and waiting to be shaped. Beautiful. As before, we put some semolina on the edges and mold the dough. This 70% hydration is a little bit more sticky and fluffier, but full of air. So let me try to shape the bread, the batard, always trying to keep all those gases in the dough. Looking good, closing edges, some semolina everywhere. And let's flip it over. Boop. Okay, in the basket. 70% hydration, done. Let's take it to the fridge till tomorrow. So here is the 70% hydration. Take a look at it. It has slept perfectly in the fridge last night. Beautiful. So it's ready to be baked. Let me get again the Dutch oven and let's bake it. Okay, let me put my gloves and let's open the Dutch oven. Oof, it's really hot. Some semolina on the bread and on the Dutch oven, and let's unmold it. Ooh, it looks beautiful. Ready to score. Wow, perfect scoring. Thanks, because the bread is cold. Let me put my gloves again. Let's cover with the lid and let's take it to the oven for 20 minutes. Ooh. Wow. So, take a look at it. It still has a lot of strength. It has an excellent scoring, beautiful. It has opened incredibly, so it looks okay. Let me put this again. Let's go back to the oven for around 15 more minutes. Oh, okay, I'll go this way. Okay, here's the 70% hydration, and take a look at it. It's beautiful and hollow. Okay, let me put it here so it cools down, and then we slice it up. Good, 70% hydration. So now the oven spring is kind of different. No, it's not like an explosion, but it's a beautiful oven spring. It's light, my bread is light. I really like the crust. It's a beautiful golden crust. So why don't we slice it up? So this crumb is a little bit more open, right? Because it's the same recipe, same fermentation time, but a little bit of water made the difference. So we have some bigger holes, small holes, but bigger holes, and it's looked great. So it's a beautiful, moist crumb with a thin and crispy crust, and it's so fluffy. So let me try this. The taste is similar to the one before, but it's a little bit moister and chewer, maybe. And soft, really delicate, this bread. So it's a good bread. Now I need something else to put on it. Well, can I find something, maybe? Okay, third bread of the day, and let's see how this water reacts to all this flour, or vice versa. Okay, as we did before, we put all the ingredients in the bowl. We add the water, and start mixing with my famous Danish whisk. Looking good, no kneading at all, just mixing till everything is well combined. Perfect. Okay, so as you've seen, this has been a little bit more faster because we have more water. And of course, it's also sticky dough, no gluten development yet, but this is going to change. So, okay, let me cover this and I'll see you in an hour. And finally, 80% hydration after autolyze. Let's see, it looks good. And for the last time, I wet my hands and pick up the dough. And oof, look at this, incredible, wow, wow, wow. And it was all done by the autolyze. Now let me shape it a little bit round and it's almost ready. This is really, really easy. Let me put back it into the bowl and let's wait. Okay, now that the dough is already kneaded, we have to wait 4 hours, more or less, and then we shape it. So take a look at the 80% hydration dough. Looks beautiful, full of air, and it's ready to be shaped. Again, more semolina around the edges and molding it and keeping all that air. And this dough, 80% hydration, looks really good, full of air. I want to keep all that air in the dough. Time to shape it. Nice batard, semolina, and here it goes to the banneton. Good. Ready, third bread, so I'll take it to the fridge and tomorrow we're baking it. So finally, here's the last bread of today, the 80% hydration. And take a look at it. Beautiful too, perfect fermentation, and it's already proofed, and it's ready to be baked. So let me get again my Dutch oven, and let's bake this baby. Where's the Dutch oven? This way? Oh, that way. Let's open the Dutch oven. Woof, what a steam. And now some semolina everywhere, and let's unmold the bread. Oof, beautiful. Time to score. Wow, I like it. Again, my gloves, let's put the lid and let's bake this bread for 20 minutes. Oh. Wow. Okay, it's gorgeous. This 80% hydration bread looks amazing. I love that scoring. So let's get it back again to the oven for 15 more minutes. This way, right? No, or that way, I don't know. Woo! Last bread of the day, 80%. Wow, looking good. I like it. Nice golden brown color. Okay. 80% hydration, and I kind of like this bread. It is really light, as you can see. Beautiful crust. The oven spring is beautiful too. Maybe it's a little bit more like fluffier, just a little bit. I don't know, maybe the shaping, but I just want to try this one. Ooh. Oh. So this is the 80% crumb, and as you can see, it has bigger holes. It could have bigger and bigger holes, but it's okay. I think it's good. The first thing that I noticed is that it's a chewer and moister crumb. Take a look at this. But it's good, and the crust is thin and crispy, golden brown. Smells incredible. but it's super fluffier. Okay, let me try this. Whoa. Yeah. It's more chewer. Really soft. Maybe a little bit more acid than the last one. That's good. Oh, in a good way. That's good. Interesting. If you like moister bread, then maybe this 80% hydration, it's better for you. Okay, let's check them all together. So here we have the three breads, 60% hydration, 70% hydration, and 80% hydration. And as you can see, it was always the same formula, which has changed the amount of water, but it's the same flour, same recipe, and the same weight of the dough. So the only thing is that I added more water and less flour as I grew up in the hydration, right? So 60, 70, and 80. The difference that I noticed, the first one, the taste is almost the same, but the crumb is moister when you higher the hydration, like this one, the 80% hydration. 70 is okay, and 60 was okay too. If I have to choose one of this, I would take the 70% hydration, which the crumb was chewier, was chewy and was moist, but not too dry. This is not dry, of course, but this one is a little bit more, for my taste, a little bit more chewier and moister. Maybe it's okay. You have to try. Of course, you have your own taste. You choose which one is the best. Leave me comments which one you like the most. Try it with your flours. Of course, if it was one bake, every bake is different, but you can understand what was going on. Maybe here fewer holes or an open crumb. This was a little bit more open, and this one was a little more open too. So the amount of water change the dough and change the dough, change the crumb, and change the aspect, or don't know, of how you see the crumb. So it's okay. So choose your adventure, choose your hydration, and that's all. I'm going to look for some butter, maybe some ham or prosciutto or burrata, I don't know. And I'll see you on the next video. And remember that the gluten is always with you. I'll take this one.